Good morning! So today's the day where I get to put edging on that garden over there, and then I gotta go to the eye doctor and hopefully get some brand new contacts. Super exciting stuff going on, and let's get started. So last night I loaded up this our old Toyota truck with these edging pieces. Now these are not specifically edging pieces, but I use them for edging. My husband gets these from his work, where he works at a stave mill, and so this is white oak scrap pieces that they'd use in order to make those whiskey barrels that people are so fond of. So I love the way that they're shaped. They work perfectly for edging, and they're free, which means I don't have to pay for them, obviously, but that's just something that's absolutely delightful to me. We have pretty much an unlimited supply of these, and so these are going to be all over the food forest, all over the gardens. I'm going to use this for the lavender hill as I'm trying to terrace that garden, because I'm terracing with rock walls, but I made as much as I could last fall, but now things are picking up and I need to get things done quicker, and building those little rock walls is very time consuming. So I'm going to use these in the meantime, and then later on when things slow down a little bit, I'm not trying to get everything done at the same time, then I'll take these off and I'll start building the rock walls with rocks. So let me show you how these work and how awesome they work when you put them as edging for a garden bed. The big issue that I have with mulch is that if I don't have edging, grass likes to grow into it, because I mean it's always moist. It's a really great environment. There's some good nutrients going on there, and it is so easy to fix that with this edging here. And so here, let me show you what the edge looks like right now. This is after a year of being the way that it is. Okay, so you can see that there's grass, and then there's my fence. And the mulch, when I put the mulch in, I put the fence up first, and then the mulch, it went above where the edge of where the bottom of the fence is. So it's saying a couple of slots above the bottom of the fence there. And so there's a little bit of a lip. So the grass would encroach, as you see it's kind of doing here just a little bit, but I found, especially with the food forest, because I did this with the food forest either last year or the year before, but you just kind of lay the grass down, get all the little pieces. If there's one that's kind of in the garden, you of course pull that out, but if you just kind of lay the grass this way and then put the wood on top, and then just really shove it up hard against the fence, that mulch and the fence and the wood together keep the grass from getting in. Now these are not specifically cut for my garden, so you see there's going to be a little bit of a gap right there. And that's just a really super easy fix. All you do is you take these, and then you measure out your gap and you cut them. And if you have a saw, a hand saw, a table saw, anything like that, it's going to be super easy to handle. So I'm just going to put around the majority of the wood, and then I find out what my gaps are, and then I cut the wood to fit the gaps, and I have myself a border. So here, let me show you. I'm going to just put the wood down on top of this grass, and you can kind of see how that looks. Because for real, like, I have not had issues of grass encroaching on my beds at all with this method. So it works really well, and it's really it's so easy. It's so easy. And there's a garden that we have that does not have this done, and there's a little bit of dirt on the outside of the garden, and then there's these wooden edgings, and the grass comes up in the fence, and it is so difficult to get rid of that grass. It's almost impossible because it weaves itself into the fence, and it's grass, and so it's very difficult to get out anyway. So here, okay, I'm just gonna get to it. Okay, so you saw how I kind of pulled down the grass a little bit right here. I'm just gonna do that a little bit farther along the way. Okay, so I've got it all pulled out, and now it's got the three sides, so I lay it down on the flat side. Make sure if I have any little intruders of grass that I get them out. They're so much easier to pull when they're little. You've got to make sure that you get the roots. Now, if the grass is at all pointed this way, it's gonna go into the garden. So you gotta make sure, be meticulous about this. And there we go. I mean, it's that easy. And I just kind of shove it up against the fencing a little bit. If I need to push the mulch up against to close any gaps right there, you definitely don't want to have light showing. As soon as you get light, then you get grass. The thing that I love about using this as an edging is because it's just, I mean, it's kind of rough and tumble the way that it is. So I can come up here with the weed whacker and get a really clean line, and not have to worry about hitting this or making it look bad because it's so rough already. Okay, so I got done with the big part, and it already looks more like an intentional garden, which is the way that I like it. So let me show you. Okay, so obviously there's some parts I'm gonna have to trim a little bit, and then there's a little gap there that I need to fill in, and this is a little bit different in size on the end. I see that, but the way that this curves down kind of matches the hill on this bottom side, so I can just cut off that top part right there and make that match. But other than that, I've only just got a couple of empty spots that I need to fill in, but it's pretty much done. And that was so easy. That took me maybe 15-20 minutes. And yeah, it looks rough. It's not perfect, but that's kind of the kind of people we are. I like things looking a little bit rough, a little bit rustic. And so I think as far as gardens go and edgings, especially free edgings, that this is pretty good. Now, if you wanted to use round branches that you get from the woods, that's something that you could do. You could use logs, round logs, if you wanted to cut logs in half and just lay them flat. I mean, any kind of wood, as long as it's going to squash the grass on your edge and then push up against your mulch, is going to be good. Now right here, we do have a little bit of an erosion problem because it's on the corner of this big hill, and so I did put two there just to kind of support it a little bit, and then this big hunk and heavy one right there just to kind of give it some extra oomph. And then in these little areas right here, I'm going to get little stones and put them there. But there you go. I'll just clean up that wood, make some cuts, and we'll be done. So having the edging on the garden is just going to save me a ton of time this year because, and comfort, because this is really hard to mow next to or weed whack next to. And when you do weed whack it, if you accidentally hit some of the mulch and it comes back flying at you, that hurts a lot. Because I don't really like to weed whack specifically in like highly protective gear. A lot of times I'll be wearing flip-flops to my husband's dismay. But yeah, I just think that that looks really good. I'm going to get another load of mulch this year, and we'll add to these beds with the mulch, and that'll kind of raise up so that it matches the edges of the wood edging, and it'll complete the whole look that we've got going on there. So there you go. Easy peasy. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys liked this video, please hit the like button. Please also subscribe to the channel because that helps me out a lot, and you can stay up to date on what's going on here at Fay Hollow Homestead. Also, please hit that notification bell, because when you hit that, then you can get notifications when new videos are uploaded, because there's going to be a whole bunch coming and they're going to be super exciting as the season progresses. I hope you have a wonderful day and stay blessed.